usually once that approval comes in, you are hoping that by January, February, everything is sorted out. But what happened was that January came, there was no news. February came, there was no news. March came, there was no news. And at that point, I just started to, as I'm human, I started to think about what are the possibilities of getting this green card this year. Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gracechimezie, whatever you know me as. Some people know me as Grace Alex, some Tito Peachy. I now have a new alias, Grace Chi Alex, and that's how you can find me across social media. But welcome back to my channel. This is my end of the year video. I usually do these videos to reflect on the year and what was pivotal for some of the important things I did during the year, and how I am taking some things forward and leaving some things behind, and just lessons and reflections about life in general. Or life in general during the year. So without further ado, if you haven't subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Comment below what you want to see more of in 2024, and I'll try and see to accommodate that within my schedule. I would like to talk about some things that 5 lessons that I learned this year and 5 lessons that I'm taking into 2024. I think one of the first things that I learned this year was actually to be patient with myself and not to worry a lot. I am a worrier. I would think and I would worry about a lot of things, and this year I decided that I was just going to take things one day at a time. The things that I had control over, I would do those things, and the things I had no control over, I was just going to leave it to my chi to sort it out. And I started this year hoping with one wish. I really wanted to get my green card, and I have spoken about this on my channel. I'm going to link the video in the comment section or in the description, and you guys can check that out. But I really wanted to get my green card this year, and I had gotten approved for the process, I believe, in November of 2022. And usually once that approval comes in, you are hoping that by January, February, everything is sorted out. But what happened was that January came, there was no news. February came, there was no news. March came, there was no news. And at that point, I just started to, as I'm human, I started to think about what are the possibilities of getting this green card this year. And I knew I wanted to travel. I knew that getting that green card was something that was going to solidify my stay in the United States. I would feel freer. I would start to make plans to travel. And I just remember just leaving it up to God and just saying, you know what, if this green card was to come this year, it will, and not to worry myself too much about the whole process. And there you go, in April, while I was not thinking too much about the green card, I got an update that my card was being mailed to me. I think that was one of the most exciting things that happened this year. And I believe just getting that green card gave me an opportunity to just pause and reflect on my experience in the United States. Being someone who is a first child, I didn't grow up in extreme wealth. I grew up poor, and at some point in my life became a middle class person, and then moved to the United States and had to start from the beginning, start to learn new ways of speaking and communicating, learn new ways of writing. And all of those experiences were so heavy and intense that, at some point I started to lose myself, lose how I felt about who I was, how intelligent I was, and all of those things. And I believe getting a green card was one of those things that pointed to the fact that whatever I set my mind to do, I could and I should do. I should give myself more grace or be patient. And so the other thing that I learned this year was kind of appreciating the effort and growth that has happened in the last 6 years since migrating to the United States. Fun fact, I did my application for my green card myself, and that process made me sit down, go through documentation, write in law terms, all of the jargons that I needed to put together to get this green card, I did by myself. I did look online to see some experiences from people and see how they went about their own process, and then did it myself. And so just getting that green card was me just saying, you know what, Grace, you've done well, and it's okay to just think about the work that you've done and praise yourself for it. I'm usually one person who is just always going to be evasive about my growth, about the things I've accomplished, and when people praise me for it, I'm just like, thank you, and very humble about it. There is benefit to that because you get to continue to work harder and improve yourself and do good work. But then the downside to that is that you never pause to just think about how much growth has happened. And this year, I was able to pause and reflect and say, hey, Grace, look at your life 6 years ago and now you've done well for yourself. The third thing that I did this year was to move to a new apartment. I think people who know me or have known how long I've been in the United States will tell you that I've moved at least 10 times in the last 6 years. I am one person that would uproot myself from any environment that is not aligning to my growth or my vision or my life. And so last year in 2022, was it 2022 or 2021? In 2022, I moved to a new apartment, and I thought that was an apartment that I was going to be in for a long time or for a while. And I stayed in that apartment, and I just realized after 6 months that I wasn't getting the vibe that I was growing or doing the things I wanted to do by being in that space. And so at the beginning of this year, I just told myself that it was time for me to move and uproot myself. And so that was what I did. Without fear, I started to think about where I wanted to live, the apartment I wanted to live in, what were the deal breakers in the apartment I wanted to stay. And something I really wanted was a community that had like a swimming pool, a place that a walkable area, and that had a transportation system very, very close by, at least within 0.3 miles or a walking distance. And as you would have it, I really got what I wanted. Although the space is not as big as I want it to be, the basic necessities and amenities that I needed for that space to feel like home is what I've gotten so far. I can't tell myself that I'm going to stay here for another year. Hopefully I can. I think I need to learn stability, and I'm going to talk about that later. But I did move to an apartment that I absolutely love and adore, that has allowed me to be creative, that has allowed me to just feel like I have grown. And like getting the apartment with like a credit score that allowed me to not even pay security deposit, which is something that I've always done since I was here. And it also again ties to like, Grace, you've done well for yourself. It's time to pause and just think and take stock and think of the things you need to do into the future. What I did this year was to listen more and talk less and do more work. I set out this year to do more work that I was proud of, and to work with people and listen to people who were doing amazing things and learn new skills. And I'm so proud of the work that I did this year and with the people that I did it with. And all of those things cumulated to me getting a double promotion at the end of this year, which was something I wanted, but I didn't know how it was going to happen. And so just looking back at this year and thinking about all the things that I set out to do and achieving them, it's something I'm really grateful for. So I did more good work. I listened more, and I took a lot of feedback in a way that I did not think that it was a jab to myself. And that's something I've really come to learn over the years, that when people provide you feedback, especially if they are people who love you, that you just love you professionally or in a like close relationship, that you take that feedback and see it as a way of people wanting you to grow and not a direct insult to yourself. Something else that I did this year was to invest more in the kind of clothing that I decided to add to my wardrobe. I think over the years, people have known me for different or various styles. When I was in Nigeria, I had access to designers and people, and my style had evolved from not only thrifting to collaborating with brands like Jumia to collaborating with brands like Wange Ayu to like just a lot of brand Wanifuga, and these designers allowed me to explore the way I wanted to dress. Nigerian designers are doing amazing, y'all. But then when I moved to the United States, obviously finances and all of those things had hampered how I viewed my style and how I took on style. And as things have started to feel more like stable, I have started to make more conscious decision to go back to my style and the way I would love to dress. And part of it is investing in pieces that would last me a while, and also if I decide that I want to resell these items, that they would have a good resale value. And so what I did this year was to invest in clothing pieces that were nice. I took time to, I didn't shop a lot, but when I did invest in pieces that were unique and also had like a lot of quality, had resale value. Something else I did this year was to dabble into exploring Nigerian brands. I did find a brand called Shop Rerun, who makes amazing pieces that are very beautiful quality, and I loved the outfits that I got from them. So y'all check out Shop Rerun. I'm going to leave a link to the brand below, and it was one of those things that I'm thankful and I'm grateful for. And now thinking into the new year, what do I want to do in this new year? I think one of the things about getting to a place that feels like a climax of your decades of existence. So 2 decades of just being and evolving and trying to form or get into your identity or step into your identity. I believe like the last decade for me has been exploring the different aspects of what makes grace and stepping into that identity. And so looking at the next decade of me exploring my 30s and just being grace, I am looking forward in the new year to, as the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 13:11, yes, because I read my Bible, that when I was a child, I acted like a child, and now that I am grown, all those childish things I have to put away. And so in this coming year, I am looking forward to just being an adult, to being someone who is settled in the growth that has already started to happen, in sustaining that growth, and also just being an all-round grounded person. I also want to read more this year. I want to account for my time. I think those are the 2 things I really want to do this year. I want to put childish things away, and I want to account for my time. In this coming year, I want to be able to tell myself that I want to do this, and do this, and this within that time. Less procrastination, more books, leaning into community and networks and mentorship. I want to do more of that in this coming year. I want to be mentored. I want to look at opportunities that are grand and go and step into them. Like I want to feel like I have grown into a woman or someone who is an adult. I don't know if people experience this, but it's so like you do things, but mentally you're asking yourself, oh my god, am I really grown to be making these decisions? And next year I want to be able to tell myself, yes, Grace, you're grown. These decisions are things adults make, and you have to make them. I want to explore other opportunities that are like opportunities that I haven't paid attention to. I want to do those things. I also want to be present for people. I want to be consistent in showing up, not only within my cycle of friendships or family, but I want to show up in my work. I want to show up in the content that I create for you all. I want to show up as someone who has grown over the years, and I think that's what I'm looking forward to in the new year. Now looking ahead into the future. Oops. This year, I would say that I did not do this year was actively seek out a romantic relationship. Fall in love. I didn't actively seek out relationships. I think that's something I did not do this year. And what that allowed me to do is I did actively seek out friendship, and the friendships that I sought were so meaningful and so impactful. And I really want to shout out to Tanisha. I remember like sometime this year explaining to her how I have felt alienated and not able to form community, and she really took that as like, oh my god, Grace, I got you, and really has shown up every day consistently for the past months. And it's one friendship that I definitely adore and I am totally grateful for. So Tanisha, thank you for everything that you've done for me this year. I feel like this is a medium. You may not watch this video, but thank you. Thank you. But that said, before this video gets long-winded, I hope you all have an amazing 2024. I'm looking forward to a year where I get to maybe interact more with you all, get more comfortable with my voice, share more quality content, and just be the person that my chi has molded me to be. And I know that you all watching this are going to do big things. I can't wait to hear and learn or read from you all. Yeah, and as I said, let me know what content you want to see in the coming year, and I'll see if I can accommodate that into things I've already planned. With that said, I hope you all have a wonderful New Year's Eve and stay safe, do the right things, love people, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.